then 8,222. Okay, now you start the server. Okay, give it some time.
So this is what I created.
Yeah, it's working now. Okay, what's the issue?
Uh, it shows blank. Like whenever I try to do it, I have connected the database and everything. Not going.
Register item. Maximize your console. Console. Double click on the console. Class not found. Did you added the MySQL driver? Scroll
Yeah.
little up.
Yeah.
Scroll little up. Scroll little up more. Okay, show me your project. Right click on your project. Go to build path. Click apply and close.
Yeah, I've added in Tomcat too.
Can you go to your servlet once?
Which server inserting items?
Yes. Why are you giving that 127.0.0 that one?
This one?
We have to give localhost, right?
Okay. I just copied from this. Okay. I just add here
We give
localhost.
you from the chat window.
Okay.
Database name in the servlet after the forward slash. Slash, then database name.
Okay.
Now you please run it. Did you run your JSP?
Yeah,
What's the
it's
issue?
running.
Oh,
It's
it's
still
run.
running.
Okay, give it some time.
Okay.
Maximize the console. Thirty-four, line number 34. Go to your servlet. Inserting items. Line number 34. Class.furname mysql. I think it should be jdbc.driver. From where you copied, it's all wrong. You can copy from my code, right? I'm giving you
I
the.
think I copied yours. Let me check once.
Can you please copy the com.mysql.jdbc.driver? See, Ashma, as we are using the database locally, we have to give the localhost URL. That is how your JVM will understand where your database is located. It is all used by your MySQL jar. So that's how it is work. That is the proper syntax you know. And coming to the IP address, you have to Google it whether it will give or not, it will work or not. Maybe it will work, but you just need to check. Okay, can you go to your servlet? Did you change it there?
Yeah, I changed it.
Okay, are you running it?
Yes, I.
Okay. So we haven't discussed about the session management yet. Next week I will start the session management plus Java 8. Then we will implement the session management with data builds also. Now I'm explaining the very basic
Yep.
function.
Uh,
So the problem was with your URLs, DB connection URLs. Okay,
okay.
got it right?
Okay. Yeah, I still need to work on these available items.
Because you have to change same thing there also.
Okay. Oh yeah.
In all the servlets, you change the connection related to those two lines. Okay, you just copy it from there and add it here.
Okay. Okay. Thank you,
It
Sarika.
will definitely work. Yeah, Alan, please quickly share your screen. So, Sashma did, Bashwar did good, Sunil did good, Arjan good, Varsha. Okay, for all of you people, it's working, right? You did, but it is working also. Okay, for Arjan also, it's working now. And okay, nice. For Alan also, it will work, but I think it's approximately only 8 to 10 people, not more than that. See, I am being very slow because some people are lagging. They don't know the basic functionality. That's why I'm explaining the very basic things. Okay, can you please maximize your Eclipse? We can see very little screen. Okay, so what's the issue?
Mm, m- uh, it does not add to it adds to the database when I okay, let's run the program.
Okay, anyhow, update, delete, I'm going to teach today.
So when I click on available item, it's not adding the repeated item to the database, but since it's on the list in the servlet, and
Hmm.
whenever I click, the servlet runs, so it just adding to
Adding to
the
the list.
list,
It's
and
not adding to the database.
it's adding to the database. But in this page, where did
Hmm.
it go? In this page, whenever I go back and come back, it just adds another list in just this page, not the database.
So you mean this list is not fetching the values from the database?
It is like let me show you.
No, no. The point is I don't understand your issue.
Oh, okay. Uh, my issue is see, it just added the whatever list that was I had earlier.
Hmm.
Whenever I
Repeating.
yeah, but it's
Okay.
not adding it to the database. The issue is just in the display.
Okay, then something is wrong with your JSP. So what about the database part? Is it working properly when you add? Is it you are able to add it?
Yes.
Okay, so the problem is only with your this list, right?
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
So now you are trying to add. Okay, details
And
successfully added.
I didn't put a background.
Then available items.
It
So
just
new item is added properly, right?
yes.
Okay, but only thing is every time it's printing those items again. Can you go to your JSP once? From
JSP.
where you are printing this data? You will be printing from one JSP, right? Is this the JSP? So taco tc taco dot list. Your list is LST.
This is a bean class, and this is my servlet.
Okay, just a minute. You have the headers, item name, item price, and all the stuff. Then you did you close the brackets properly? Yeah, they are closed. Your table is closed properly. Come down, scroll down. Okay, your far is closed and your. So your taco 2 is your servlet
Yes.
and list is your list.
Yeah, in the tab queue.
Table to second row.
But I
Table
think
header
I
to table. 1 minute. Go to your JSP once. This is the first row and that is the second row, and it is the header and the data. Can you go to your servlet once? So this is for adding. Select. Okay, this is for viewing.
this for viewing. That item is this one.
And you have a list defined here and just a minute. There is something wrong.
Whenever I go back, I think this one is called again.
1 minute. So when you click on the view, the request is coming here, right? And it is fetching the details from the database. And
Yes.
all those details you are adding to the list. You have defined list at the top. Where's your list? Can you scroll little up? Okay, okay. List is of type taco. Looks good. And type taco and list dot add new taco and item name, price and toasted. Okay, what about the DB end? Is it inserting properly or is it inserting multiple times?
No, it's inserting just once.
Okay, only the problem is when viewing.
Like I just added the new item, it's adding more. But that's what I'm saying. In this UI part, whenever I don't know, I think
Yeah, it's okay. That is fine, but something is wrong. We will check that one. Just a minute. Okay, let me just check this one. 1, 2, 3, fine. You do one thing instead of adding you are invoking the constructor plus you are adding to the list, right? You are doing two things in the single line. Do it separately. You do one thing. What's your bean class name? Is it taco? Then taco t equal to new taco. Pass these three values. Bracket. Copy paste.
I think I tried this earlier.
Let's see. Semicolon. Remove the extra bracket. Then list dot add t. This should work now. But is it taking your request to that JSP? How you are printing? Go to your JSP once.
This okay. I am. This is my welcome JSP, and from this one, when I click on available item, it'll go to the this one, which is my servlet, and from here I'm sending response.
Content.jsp. Go to content.jsp. Okay, so you're printing. Now you give a try. Sunil, what about you? Okay, you try doing the same operation and see whether it's giving the same problem or it's working fine. It's doing the same thing. Okay, let's do one thing. Go to your servlet. Okay, let's set the attribute the list. Let's set the list to request attribute.
This one?
1 minute. I'm giving you something, you can just pass it there. Okay, can you copy from the chat window? You have to add this line in your servlet. After the while block, add it. That means the list we are saving inside the attribute, we are saving it in the request scope. You understood this, right? Everyone, can you please maximize your font? It's very, very small, your font.
Is good enough?
Yeah. Now you do one thing. You dispatch your request. I gave you the code in the chat window. Remove the send redirect, line number 61. Okay. Now at line number, after request.set attribute, you add that line which I gave you. You give your list name, not my list. I just gave mentioned list. You have to give your list name. What's your list name? LST?
Yes.
And okay, that is your attribute. Taco data is just like a variable. Okay. And you give your JSP file. What is the target JSP? I think it is content.jsp, right? Give the Java is case sensitive language, so be careful. Now you go to your JSP. Okay, here before just you have at for loop, right? You just click enter before for. Just click enter. Okay. Click one more enter. Now above for you write list angular bracket taco. L has to be capital. List angular bracket and the bean class name, whatever it may be. It is taco, right?
Yes.
Okay, space, then give some list name. My list or any list, anything, taco list or anything. Equal to request or get attribute. There we are setting, here we are getting. Very simple. Everyone don't get confused. In the servlet, we set one attribute to request scope. Here we are getting it. Okay. You give here, I think we gave taco data, right? You can check in the servlet. Yes, copy that. Give that in the double apostrophe. Double apostrophe.
Like Brad. This one?
Okay, so what we are doing here, we have a list in the request scope. We are getting it again. Okay. Okay, here you have to mouse over on the list. Why it is giving error? Okay, you do one thing. Before request, you give in the bracket. You add a bracket before request.
This?
Yeah. Add a no. Close the bracket. I will tell you something to write there. Give a bracket. Open and close. Okay. Now inside write list. Angular bracket taco. I mean this whatever data we are getting is of type list. Taco. Okay. A mouse over on the list. Okay. You add a import statement. I am giving you. You add this import statement on the top. Go to top. You already have the import statements, right? You add same thing like that, but inside the first of it should be java.util.list. Yeah, correct. Save it. Now it is gone. Okay, now you do one thing. List name you change it to my taco list. Down line number 27. You gave taco2.list, right? Remove it. Not there. Yeah. You give my taco list. The copy paste. Whatever you gave above, just give the same. Okay, save it. Now you run it. Okay, you run from the welcome JSP, first JSP. Go back and see. It's giving the same issue. Maximize your console. I don't know. Okay, it has some problem. Line number 27. Content.jsp. Go to line number 27. One second. List and this is the file and it looks good. TR and TR. Everything looks good. Scroll little down. You have to close table first and div next. Close the table before the body. Close the table, div, then body. Then div, then body. Go after the table, div. Save it.
Yes.
Yeah, now you run it. Because we are writing everything inside the body. Again, inside the body, we want to keep separate section of the page in a web page. So we are using the div. Div acts like a container. And inside div, we are using a table. Okay. Yeah, you have to be careful with all this stuff. Body, then div, then table. Yeah, correct. Now you run it. First to do basic things, then do like this. Oh, he has the outside body. I think he kept it now inside. Yeah. Everybody following what we are doing here? I know few people are following, but others I don't know. Okay, give a try now. It's troubling again. Go to your while loop. List that add. Scroll little up. 1 second. This is the driver statement and this is the DB connection. Let's start from this one and execute query. Scroll little down. So if you print here itself with using pw.println, was it printing repeatedly or was it printing normally?
It was printing normally.
Okay, scroll little down. Then the problem is coming when we are fetching it. I think parse float is not the problem because it will give problem if it is a parsing related problem, it will give that one. But why it is repeating it? Somewhere somehow it's getting repeated.
Yeah, I think whenever I call it, it's just taking the old value from here and adding just to the list. So is there any way? Yeah.
You scroll up completely up. Where okay, your list is here. Public static list, list name and new array list of type taco. Go to taco, bean class, taco.java. Yeah, this is the constructor gets invoked and we are just setting. This is absolutely fine. Go to your servlet. Everything looks absolutely good. Go to servlet. Scroll down. Okay, go to your JSP again. Scroll up. Let me go through one line by line. Scroll completely up. Okay. Okay, just give me a minute. That meta line, you keep it before the title line. Meta char set. Control X. Keep it before the title. Enter. Save it. So you have import statements. Then import statement should be inside the doc type HTML. Okay, they should be at the top. Can you please cut all the 3 import statements? Control X. Now keep them inside doc HTML. They have to be inside.
Over here?
No, no, no. Not inside the tag. Inside it. I mean before it. Before the doc type. Click enter. Yeah, add it. Save. Import statement should be at the top. Okay, now do you have HTML head? Okay. Scroll little up. 1 minute. HTML head. Where's your body tag? Your body should start after the meta char set. Your body should start. Title should be above the body. Yeah, title, then head, then body. Yeah, it looks good. Scroll little down. You have the div. Div is inside the body. Nice. Then you created the table. Then you have the th, close tr. Scroll down. Okay, then you have the list for td. Okay, scroll down. Table div, body, and where is your HTML closing tag? Okay, fine. Now you run it. If it is not working, then we will leave it. I'll check it later.
Okay.
No, you do one thing. Close everything. Stop the server. Close all. Close all. Right click. Close all. Close all. Down. Stop the server. Remove the projects added in the server. Go to server. Expand it. Yeah. Remove one by one. Now you start the server. Now you check it.
That's fine. I'll figure it out.
Okay, we will check it. But are you sure is from which JSP those are coming? One
Yeah.
second. If you click on available items multiple times, is it happening?
Yeah, when I click this,
Available items. Okay, go to your JSP or servlet.
so this is where it's being printing from.
No, but where is available items is there? In
Available
the
items. No,
Yeah.
it's
No, go show me the JSP ones.
this is the available item.
Yeah, but where is the JSP? Where you give the button available items?
Button I
Welcome to
give in
JSP. Go to
the
welcome.jsp. Scroll down. Where is the available items?
let's go into the servlet.
No, but where is okay available items and taco? Go to taco servlet. Here the URL mapping is taco. Okay, this is the one we made all the changes.
Yes.
Okay, we will check it later because we already spent time. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so 18 people are there. So few people are good, few people are struggling, and few people I think they are not trying. PK, are you there? Hello, PK. What happened? You are not attending the classes nowadays? You were absent to the previous classes. What happened? Sagar Powdal, what happened to you? Please be regular to the classes. Okay, so this is my MySQL workbench. And yesterday we saw how to insert the values and how to view the values. Today we are going to update the existing values and we are going to delete the value. We will check that one. Okay, so this is the content which I have inside my table. Let me open the page. So what I'm trying to teach here is first we will design the basic one. Then we will add some extra features. Then we will add little more UI features to make your page looks more good. Then we will move on to one by one. Okay. See, if you are not able to print in the tabular format, then just print normally. At least your end-to-end flow should be working. Okay. So next week we'll see the session management techniques. Session management techniques. Then we will see multi-threading. Then I will give you Java 8 introduction. Okay. This is for the next week. Anyone has any questions? Questions or concerns or any, if you people are not able to follow, you want to share anything, you can discuss with me. Okay, so for now we are discussing about the database. We saw the connection, how to make a connection. And we also able to view the data and insert the data to database. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about update and delete. Once you are comfortable writing it, we will divide the code into layers. And then we will write the code. Okay. So this is my update query. This is my update query. For example, I have a table student which is present in batch3 database. If I want to see the information inside this table, I have to fire the select query. This much everybody knows. You can see my screen, right? Okay, so let me just run it. And this is my output. And how many values I have in it? I have 6 rows. I have 6 rows inside it. And we know the query for updating. If you want to update any table, you have to give update table name set. Set is for setting the value. Set so and so column where so and so column is this one. Okay. This is the update query. And somebody asked me one doubt, what if two students have the same name PK? Then how it is going to work? The two rows will get affected, right? So we have something called primary key concept in database. Primary key and foreign key. Anyone has any idea on the primary key and foreign key? So primary key is a column for a table which helps you to uniquely identify that column. For example, you all are master students, right? You have completed MS recently, and there are so many portals. For example, if I have Sagar portal, the same name, surname, first name, last name is same. First name and last name is same, and I have two students. So the university people, how they are going to identify between them? So it's okay, bachelor or masters, whatever it may be. If you are bachelors, at least you are graduates, right? So for example, if you have the same name, if I have a person with same name, same first name and same last name, so how you are going to identify uniquely? One Sagar portal. There are two. Yeah, ID number. Because the college people are maintaining the ID numbers. Here the ID number helps them. So if they want to fetch the details of any student, they will simply use the ID number. And in any university or any college or anywhere, the ID number will be totally unique. Even if you consider an organization, each and every employee will be given an employee ID. It will be completely unique to him. Correct? So some ID will be given to the students or employees to uniquely identify them. So is it important to uniquely identify a person? Is this important? What if we don't do this? What going to happen? This is very, very important because so much conflict is going to happen. See, for example, if I want to issue some check, the university has to issue some check to one Sagar portal and it is being to issue to another because the names are same. So their operations will be affected, right? And how many students a university can have normally? It is limited. Yeah, though it is 10,000 or 50,000 or 1 lakh, it is limited. It's not going to be in lakhs. It will be in thousands usually. But you consider a web application, you consider a Facebook or any dynamic web application, which is so huge, which is connected throughout the net and for which they have the data from different countries. So that data is very sensitive. They have to organize the data very carefully so that nobody is getting affected. So that's why when we are discussing about the database, the primary key is very, very important. So if you consider this table, we did not mention any column as the primary key. So can I mention the student name as the primary key? Is that a good idea logically? You can still mention, but no, that's not a good idea because student can have different names. So it may give you a problem. So it's always suggested to give the idea as the primary key. It depends on your design and it depends on your table. Okay. So for this table, I have 3 columns, and out of 3 columns, which one is the primary key column? Nothing, because ID is not primary key because we did not give it. We just while creating, we just created it like this. Correct. What if I want to make it as a primary key? Okay, sorry. So I have 3 columns, and one column I want to give as a primary key. And then I have to mention something like this. I have to write primary key, bracket, column name. I want to give student ID as a primary key. I simply run it when I create the table. I already created the table, so I can do it right now. But in every time, next time, when you try to create a table, give like this. It's very simple, right? You write the syntax for creating table. You give the database name, table name, give all the columns. At the end, you simply add this line. Okay. So this is for creating the primary key. We simply add this line. We just make one column as a primary key. How many columns I can make it as a primary key? Only one, we know that. Okay, so you got some idea on the primary key, right? The primary key is very important when you want to do update or delete operations, because when you want to update, for example, I want to update the Sagar powders marks. So there are two or any number of Sagar powders. So I want to clearly give one where condition I have to write clearly so that I can find out that particular Sagar powder whose data I want to manipulate. So when it comes to update or delete, and this primary key plays very important role. So any confusion or anyone has any questions? Okay. And what is a foreign key? Anyone has any idea? What is a foreign key? So okay, multiple people are answering me. It reference primary key of another table, other except primary. Yeah. Yeah, few people are already having some idea on the database. That's good. See, for example, this is the student table. Okay. And I am maintaining one more table. I am maintaining university information table. There I will save the student information also. So there I want to use the student ID column also. So this student ID column is primary key in this table. So it will act like a foreign key there. And that table will have that table will have another primary key. Okay. For example, I'm going to create another table. Universities will have the table, right? University details will be saved in the university table, and each and every university will have its ID or not. There can be any number of universities in a country or in a city. So university will also have some ID. So here university ID becomes the primary key, because we also want to uniquely identify the universities. There can be two universities with same name in different cities, but the ID will be different. So we can easily identify it. Okay. So which column is the primary key now? What is a good idea? I can make any column as a primary key, but what's a good idea? Yeah, university ID. University ID, right? So let me just type it. Okay, so this becomes a primary key. And here, what's the foreign key? Here also I will have my student ID column, because university will have in contain the student details also. It contains so many details: university name, student details, etc., etc. So here student ID is a foreign key or not? So foreign key is something which is the primary key in another table and which is used to work with the primary key in your table. Okay. So what is the use of this primary key? You want to identify one particular person studied in one particular university. There can be two universities. There can be two universities with the same name and two or more than persons with the same name. So then how you are going to identify the person? We are going to identify using primary key plus foreign key when multiple tables are involved. So that means university ID plus student ID. This will result you the unique result. This gives you unique result. It uniquely identifies one person. You got some idea. You don't need to worry about primary key, foreign key, all those stuff. But having good idea always helps you. So no confusion, right? Okay, so now we are dealing with only one table. Let's concentrate only on the primary key. Okay, so for this table, we don't have any primary key. Assume that ID is the primary key because we don't have the duplicate entries. Next time onwards, when you create a table, give a primary key also. Is that clear with you? Okay, I think few people are totally confused. They're not replying. Okay, I want to know who all are those totally confused. They don't understand anything. It's okay, you can reply me privately. Okay, they are not replying. Okay, if you are getting, that's well and good. So let's do one thing. Insertion, deletion we have. We are done. Next is updation and deletion. So shall we go ahead and do updation and deletion? So I think you are good for the Monday's test, right? Okay, let me run this welcome file. Let me close everything. I am going to use yesterday's project. It will save our time. So student, is this my project? I think so. Let me run it. Yeah, this is my JSP page. I think I have quickly created it, right? Okay, I want to create one more JSP. Which asks me to, okay, you cannot see my screen. Okay, you can see now. So what I'm going to do here is I want to create a page just like how I showed you yesterday. So welcome to student portal. Please select your option. Let's see, I'm going to have multiple buttons here. View the student details, add student, or update existing student and delete existing student. These are the respective buttons. Okay, I want to have 4 buttons which will perform 4 different tasks for me. Okay, so let me quickly create a welcome page. Welcome JSP. Welcome.jsp. Welcome to student portal. So let me put some options here. And I want to add the respective form tags to each and every button, right? So let me take the form tag from here. Where is my welcome student details.jsp? So this is for adding. Let me take it from here to added student details. This is one to form tag. This is for viewing. This is a button, and let me add one more button for adding. Or add or register. Register new student. And this should take me to another JSP because I have to enter the student details, right? So this should take me to where? Tell me, this should take me where? I have a button which allows me to register the new student. So this should take me to JSP or servlet. You have to reply me. Not servlet. It is JSP because when you say register new student, you have to enter the student details for registering it, right? So if you want to register a student, you have to enter some fields. That fields we create in JSP, not servlet. Servlet comes into picture when you perform some action at the backend. Is it clear? Okay, let me give the target as the JSP here. Okay, here the JSP is student details.jsp. Okay, when I register new student, my target is here. Let me remove the button from here. Okay, so this will take me to the my insert servlet, and it has all the details, add details. Okay, and I should have update and delete button. Let me add update and delete. And I should have the respective servlets also. So now tell me, if I want to update, I will click on the update. So it should take me to the JSP or servlet. Servlet, but the point here is when you are updating, you have to pass some information for updating. So for passing the information, again we need a JSP, right? So first JSP, then servlet. Is it clear? Because I'm going to teach the from the basic. If I teach directly, again it will be confusing for few students. So is that clear? So let me give the update student.jsp. Okay, for delete. What about delete? It goes to JSP or servlet? First JSP, then servlet. So let me give. And for JSP, I don't need to give this get method here. Shall I run this one? Shall I run this one? Let me run it. Let's see. I'm running it. Let me add the breaks. So is it good? Shall I put them inside the div? Okay, let me put them inside the div. And let's see. No, I have to give some alignment also, I guess. Let me. Div align. Okay, I'm aligning it to the center. Why it is not coming in the center? Okay, everything has to be inside the div. This is my form tag. Again, inside the form tag, I have. Okay, this is the second one. Let me add in the welcome.jsp. Okay, this is my div tag. Again, this is my break. This is my div ending. Okay, fine. Let me add this div in the welcome JSP also. Let me add the div here and let me close the div at the down. Okay. So inside the div, let me move a little bit. Let me correct the syntax. It looks more good. And this is my form tag. This is my element inside the form. This is the break again. This is my another form. Okay, I'm done. It looks good now. Let me run it. Okay, now it is coming in the center. Okay, now let me add, where is my marquee? Okay, shall I add marquee also at the top? Body. Okay, let's see. Okay, this image is not saved into this file. That's why it's not displaying. No problem. Okay, so I have this UI, and whenever I click on register new student, it's taking me to student details JSP. Because here, when I say register a new student, my target is my JSP. Everybody is clear till here. Okay, here I can add the details, and yesterday we did this one. It was successfully adding. So we have to concentrate on. Let me run it again. Okay, register we have done yesterday, view student we have done yesterday. Now we have to concentrate on update and delete. So when I click on update, is it taking me to another JSP or not? So I want to update one record, but I have to inform which record I want to update. So for example, I want to update Anup. Okay, I want to update Anup and I want to set his age as 26. So what I have to tell? I have to tell the program and I have to tell the database that update Anup information, set his age to 26, now it is 24, right? But how I'm going to identify this particular row? I can have any number of Anup in my table. So I am going to identify, here the primary key comes into picture. So the primary key will help us while updating and deleting or not. So I have to ask the user to select, provide the student name, sorry, student ID. Okay. As I told you sometime back, I want to issue some check to one person. I want to issue some check to Sagar Podal, but there is more than one person. So what the university people will check? They will check the ID, which Sagar Podal and what is his ID, to whom we have to issue the check. So here in my Eclipse, I am saying update the existing student. But which student? You have to provide the student ID, because student ID is the only one column which identifies your student uniquely. So shall I create one more JSP asking the student ID? Okay, here, where is my, this one? Let me quickly write it. This is for view the existing student. This is for register new student. This is for update existing student. I have 4 buttons, right? And for delete. So when I say update, I can have a JSP page displaying the drop down, the list of student IDs, so that I can select one among them. Okay, but here what I'm going to do here is, instead of giving the drop down, I am asking the user to enter the value from the output. Because if I introduce the drop down and fetch the information, it will be confusing again. We will do that next week. Is it okay? You are getting my point? So what my next step? What I have to do now? When I click on update student, it should go to update student.jsp. I have to create it. I don't have it. I don't have the JSP with me now. Let me quickly create it. It's very simple. Everybody knows how to create JSP in servlet. Okay. This is for updating. So what I have to ask here, ask the person, ask the student. He came to update page. I have to ask him to enter the student ID to update. Right? So do I require form tag here or not? You have to be quick. Okay, let me add a form tag. Form action. We will write the action later. Method later. Okay. So here I am asking the user to please enter the, provide the student ID to update. Okay, I have to give the input type. Because for entering, I need to give some field or not. Text name equal to student ID. Because this guy is going to enter the student ID. Alain is joining now. I will not allow him. Submit. Because with submit only, your action takes place. Value will be the name which gets displayed on the button. Here we are doing update. Okay, so this goes to, this request goes to servlet or JSP. When I click on, I gave the student ID and I'm clicking on update button. This goes where? No answers? Ashma, is it confusing? Oh, it is confusing. Okay, let me make it clear. Okay, it's okay. I thought it's confusing. So tell me, when I click on the update button, it should go where? Okay, let me write something. So this is for you people. Those who are not comfortable till here, please stop me. I will explain one more time. And continue. If you are clear, I will continue. I am writing because some people must be sleeping. I don't want to disturb their sleep, so that at least they can read this one. Are you comfortable? Shall I continue? Or whatever code I wrote, you want me to explain one more time? That's okay. Friday you will say it's Friday. Again Monday you will say it's Monday. Then what to do? Okay. They'll sleep keeping their eyes open, right? So at least they will read it. Okay. And I have an important update for you. Few people are working, right? And usually when you start attending Nagendra's class, the class would be from 3 to 6 or 3:30 to 6 p.m. in the evening. So you have to plan accordingly. That is the standard time which he maintains for taking the class. So what I suggest is, if you are working, once you work now, but once Nagendra's class starts, you stop working because you have to learn a lot. So it may start in 2-3 more weeks. So if you are working and if you are attending his class, it's really difficult for you to follow. What's now happening is, the people, they are free from morning 10 to evening 3. They are completely free. They are not doing anything. And 10 to 1, they'll spend some time, 1 o'clock they'll have lunch, and by 3, when the class is going to start, they are feeling sleepy. Okay. Yeah, you have recording, but you have to work on it. I'm practically seeing the people who are attending the class. So if you are putting your legs on two things, working and attending the training, it will really give you very tough time. If you can avoid it, as everybody is in the lockdown now, everybody is being isolated. If you can manage without working, that's well and good. But if it is really, really important for you to work, you need some money, then only you go for work. I suggest that. Okay. Okay, fine. So this should go to the servlet. So let me write update servlet. Update student details, and It can be get or post. Okay, this is done. For deleting also, I need one more JSP. Let me write delete student. Let me create quickly. For deleting also, I need to give which field. For deleting also, he has to give me ID or not. Because if we don't give the ID, we may delete some other student. Okay, the same thing I am going to add here. Next time we will avoid writing so many JSPs. We will write everything in a smart way. For now, let's just follow this one. Delete servlet. And please delete. Okay, now I have to write the respective servlets. Yes or no? Okay, please observe. Now here I need a bean. Now I have to write a bean or not. Till now we don't have any bean. But why I want to create a bean here? Because when updating or when inserting, I want to refer the object values, and the object values are heterogeneous. They are of different types. So I want to pass the values and I want to invoke the constructor. And I can also add the security check when I have a bean class. For example, when registering the student, I have the welcome JSP here. When I click on register new student, for example, in the place of student name, one person is entering some wrong name, or student ID is entering as 00. So can you allow student ID cannot be 00, right? So you want to add some condition there. Where you will add the condition? You can add the condition in the bean class setter, or okay, duplicate anyhow it will give you error. The duplicate. Okay. So can you see the screen? Okay. So now we are going to write the code in the layer. So let me write some. So we have all this stuff in our class or not? We have to write the bean class. We have to write the respective servlet for each and every action. And we also have to include the database code. So what I'm going to now do here is, I want to separate all of them. Because when you talk about the dynamic web application, we are separating the business logic with the presentation logic already. Why we have two things? We have servlets and JSPs. We can write everything in the servlet, or we can write everything in JSP. Why we are writing two? What's the main reason behind it? The main reason is we want to separate. We want to separate the business logic with the presentation logic, right? So here again the business logic, I want to separate in the layers, because that is how we design in a smart way. So here I am going to write the bean class in a in separate package, and I'm going to write the servlets in a separate package. I'm going to write the database code in a separate package. Why? It is just for the flexibility. You will find this is a small application, you have limited classes, but in your web application it will be so huge. You will have hundreds of classes. If you divide them in the packages, it will be useful. It will be really helpful for you to find out where it is. Okay, so let me create the packages. How many packages I have to create? Not one, more than that. I am going to create three. Please observe. I have one already. Let me create two more. So this package is for the bean class. So I'm going to write it. Bean works like a model. In the bean class, we don't have anything. It is just a dummy class, right? Bean doesn't do anything unless until you populate some data to it. Okay, so that's why we are giving it as a model. Finish. Anyone has any idea what is DAO? What is DAO? DAO stands for Data Access Objects. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so sorry. So DO stands for Data Access Object, and this works like a design pattern. We will learn about the design patterns later. So for now, you just understand that a design pattern is a solution for the commonly occurring problems. Okay, a design pattern is a solution, or it is just a smart way of doing for the commonly occurring problems. So most of the programmers, we all work on the programming, will do the coding. So we will find out the smart way of doing it, and we will just give some solution to the commonly occurring problems. So DAO solves the commonly occurring problems. I will tell you why we are using DAO here. So I just created a DAO class, and I already have the com.cubic package. Okay. So how many? We have 3 packages. One is for the DAO. This is where we put the database related code. This is where we put the bean related code, model code. This is where we write the servlets. We have the servlets already. So shall I create the DAO class now? First, let me create the bean. And I have to create the bean for what? We have student details. So shall I create a student bean? Let me create it. Sorry, I have to create the bean inside the model. The student. Okay, I'm done. Here I have to add student fields. How many fields I have? How many fields I have in the database? Those I have to add. I have student name, student ID, student age. Let me add them here. And these fields has to be public or private? Private student name. And it has data type I forgot. Let me copy this one. Sorry, second is ID, right? Third is age. Okay, I'm done. What's the next step? What do we usually do with the bin class? We create the setters and getters. Generate getters and setters. Okay, let me put these on the top. What's the next step after setters and getters? Yeah, we have to write the constructor. Parameterized or no arg? Yeah. So what's next again after adding the constructor? ToString, perfect. Not bad. You guys are following. Okay. Okay. For bean class, I will simply give the field names. Everything else gets automatically generated. Okay. Let me add the toString it down. So you are clear till here. Okay, I'm done. This is used to represent the student object, because in Java everything is object and we want to populate the values, get the values in the object format. Okay, it's clear till here, and we created the pin. Do we have to initialize the variable in order? That is better, because these variables we are going to use in the constructor, so they have to be in order, right? If we give in their string here, it will not work. So correct. So let me write what I have to write inside the DAO. I am going to write one class which will help me to connect with the database. Okay, my class name is student DAO. I successfully created the class. Why I created the class, I will explain now. So before that, let me open, close all. Let me open my insert students and my student details. These we wrote yesterday. You remember it or you forgot it? These two classes, these two servlets we wrote yesterday for inserting or viewing. Okay, if you understand, are we writing the connection code in both of them? Okay, so don't you think it's dumb? Because we are writing the connection code in all the classes, and for example, if we have 50 classes, we have to write the connection code everywhere, this connection code. So for that, we are going to write one DAO class. This gives you the connection object, and here we will have multiple methods. So how many operations we are performing here? We are performing viewing, inserting, updating, deleting. We are also getting the connection in all the servlets. See, here I made the connection, then I selected. Here I made the connection, then I inserted. First I am making the connection. So here I am going to write 4 methods. I am going to write 4 methods, or I think 5 methods. What are those? First one is for gives you connection. What's the second one? What it does? Gives you student details from table. What the second one does? Third one, inserts data for you. What about the fourth one? Updates data for you. Fifth one, deletes data. When you can write it directly, why are you creating the methods again? Did you remember the definition of the methods we discussed in core Java? What is the definition of a method? Method is a block of code which performs some action for you, right? So first I'm going to write a connection code which returns connection for you. If you observe here, this is where we are creating the connection object. So these 2 lines of code I want to put there. First, let me write the method name. Just tell me how to write a method. Public static, because I want to use it directly. Can we not use one method for all? No, because the purpose of each method is different. Okay. Okay. Does it return something or not? It returns the connection object. And what is the name of the connection? So this method returns connection. So I have to give the connection here. Get connection. Okay. And if you want to get connection, do you need to pass anything? Let me import it. Okay, let me write those 2 lines of code here. So I'm just writing the DB connection inside one method. I simply call this method get the connection. That's it. This has to be inside try and then catch. Any confusion till here? I have to add the return statement also. So this should return connection or not? So here I have to write what? I have to write con, because this is where we are setting the connection. Okay, but I have to declare con on the top because this is becoming local to this block. So let me define that here. Now it will work. So anyone has any confusion? Simple, simple. I am just removing this particular code, putting it in a method. So I will simply refer that method. Okay. Okay. So first method is done. First method is done. Whoever calls this method will get the connection object. Shall I go ahead and write the second method? Okay. Again the same thing. Public static. The second method is going to be view details, view student from details from the table. So when you want to view the details, it will give you some object or not. Are you following? Okay, it gives you object, but which object it gives me? It gives me student object, right? Let me open the student bean. Say, this is the object, it is going to give me these details. I will fetch from the object and I will print it there. So what I have to write here? First, I have to declare a list, because list is where I will have the student details. Then it gives me. I will explain about this later, because when I say I am asking a method, for example, you are my method, I am asking you, get me the student details. Then you will give me some result. You will give me, but you will give me in the list. How you will give me? You need something, some variable to give me. You will put inside a variable and you will give me in that variable, right? And list is nothing but, this is just like advanced type of variable when you want to save huge data. Is it clear? This is nothing but the return type. You can return a list or not. Okay, now I have to give the method name. So what is the method name? View student data. Method name can be anything. You want me to, otherwise you tell me some method name, I will just write it. This is just a method name. Method name can be anything. Okay. So here, now what I have to do? So here this should be capital S. So here what I have to do? I have to get this connection and I have to execute it. And it will return something or not. Return list. We will add the list here, then it returns that list. My list or something. I will write this return statement later. So inside this view student data, whatever we are writing here. Sorry, this is not insert. This is for viewing. So I have to write this one or not? These 2 lines. See, if we write only inside the servlet, only for this servlet you will get the data. But if you write inside this method, anybody can call this method and they can see the student data. You are understanding the benefit of writing the methods in the DAO? Okay, this method can be called from any other servlet and they can simply view the student details data. Okay, those two lines I'm writing it again. I'm just preparing the statement and I'm just executing the query. But for con, I have to call this method again. Con is present in con equal to we just have to define the connection object here because we need the connection and variable equal to, we simply call this method here. If we call this method, we are in the same class. We don't need to give any class name. How to call a method from another method? You simply give the method name, that's it. So this returns me connection object. That means connection. This gives me connection. Using that connection, I am executing this statement. Select start from database name, table name, and execute the query. This query will give me some result or not. Again, I want to populate through the result. We will use the while loop. rs dot next. This one we know already. This gives me some result. That result is saved in the rs. We have to populate through it and we want to, whatever we did yesterday, where is that? It's the same thing. Okay. These two lines I'm going to add. But do I need to add to the list again the values? Do I need to add the values? Before that, I need to create a list here. Let me create the list first. Student, my student list equal to, okay, let me keep it down. This, okay, why it is giving me, okay, I have seen it is suggesting me to import the student class, which is present in the com.model package. I'm importing it. See, I have successfully imported because I need that class. If any class is in different package and you are using it, you have to import it. We know this much, right? Why it is giving me error again? Okay, return statement has to be there. Yeah, we are returning the list from here. This list will be returned and we have to use that list to print the elements. Okay. Okay, again, this has to be inside the try catch block. So let me put it inside the try. And this is where it is ending. And this is the ending of catch block. Exception. We are just simply dividing it. Don't get confused. Okay. But are we adding the values to the list? We are not adding, right? We have to, I think the try has to be on the top. Okay. Now let me add these elements to the list. We can do in two ways. Dot add. But first here I have to create the student object. Student s equal to new student. I have to pass the values. What values I have to pass? Okay, but I have to do, if I am printing directly, I have to do that. But am I invoking the constructor? So I have to set it here. So I'm going to give one code. Don't get confused. MyList.add. First, we have to create the bean object here. We are going to do multiple things. Don't get confused. So you just tell me this method, we are using it to get the data from the database. I have run the query successfully, and now at this line of code, I have the data from the table inside the result set. Right? Now I want to use this result set. I can have any number of rows inside the result set. How many entries I have here? I think I have 6 entries. If I have 100 entries, those 100 entries will be there in the result set. Now I want to go through each and every entry. Then I want to invoke the bean class. Then I want to save that particular entry inside a list. So we have to do multiple things here. First, create bean object. Then set the values. Okay. And then add the element to the list. Is it clear? So let me create the bean object. Student is equal to new student. Okay. This is giving me error because I have to pass the parameter. So here what I will do, just a minute. Something is confusing. Okay, I need to define a empty constructor also. I will tell you why. I just created a empty constructor, and here inside the empty constructor we will usually have the super. This is the default code what we usually write. Okay, so here we are setting for each and every column we have the setters and getters. So let me go one by one. Student name. So we have to get rs.getString. Each and every element from the result set I am getting it. Then I am setting it. ID. Then rs dot as true. I think it is get int. I think I have extra. Same thing for the third column also. Set student age. So are you clear with these lines? We are not printing them directly. We are invoking the bean. Then we are setting the values. Here also we can add the security checks. If the database data is coming from the DB and you want to perform some operations on it, you can perform in the bean class inside the setters and getters method. Then you can return those values. So is it clear till here? A single row I took. I am setting the values to the respective columns. Now what's my next step? Now I want to, my S object contains all the 3 values. So now I have to add this object to my list. S. So this particular row gets added to my list after the security check. So this is how I am doing in the insert. Sorry, view, my student details. So shall I delete this code from here? I don't need it again because I will simply print it from the method call. Shall I remove this code? Let me comment it. I'm commenting the code because I will not write this code again. I will simply make the method call. Okay. So my request came here. Now I can call this method or not directly. I will call this method. And this method present in which DAO? Student DAO dot. Am I making a method call or not? but this returns me some value. So I have to give the, so I have to save that inside a list again. This returns me a list. So let me save it inside a list. List, my new list. Okay. And this is of type student again. Why it is, do I need to import it? Why it is giving me problem? Student DO dot view student data. Can you see any problem here?
The DAO is I think it should be kept.
Yeah. Now it is showing me the import statement. I am importing it. Now the error is gone. So this is nothing but a method call. This method is present in student DO class. So I'm calling the method. I am adding list because when I call this method, it returns me some list. This is method call and it returns me list. So that list I want to save inside it. So I just gave in the list and it is of type student. Is it clear? Let me remove the unnecessary code. So I'm in my servlet, I'm going to write very few things. Let me import them. Let me import the student class also. Now my list has my elements or not? Shall I print those elements? I will simply add the for each loop. How to add the for each loop? For each loop, the list name variable, then it's not the list name, it's the bean name, class name, and some variable, and then the target list. Okay, so here I want to print those values to the output. So I will just write. You can also give the tabular format by adding request dispatcher. First, I will show you the basic one, then I will show you the tabular one. Okay, so here I want to print pw dot println. So what I have to give here? S dot student name. The same thing. Okay, I will show you this one. Shall I run it? I'm just printing. So I'm not, do you see any database code here? In database related code here? We are limiting the database code completely to the DAO and we are simply, with this servlet, we are simply fetching the results and printing it. Shall I run it? Now my data should get printed from the DAO. Where is my welcome JSP? Run on the server, finish. I know it's little complicated, but and it. Shall I click on view student details? See, my student details are coming. It is coming as it is because I am printing it. It's not, it's too many things to take care of. Okay, it's not easy, you feel? Then what to do, tell me? Is there anything I can do for you? Okay, why this is not giving in the next line? If I can do anything for you, I will give a try. Let me print it again. It was looking very bad earlier. But if you can do this much here, your advanced class will be easier. Okay, view student details. Still it is coming like this. I think my new line is not working. What's the issue? It's looking very bad, na?
You have to add break in at the end.
Like this.
Yes,
Is this correct?
yes, I think so.
Let's try. Don't restart the server. View student details. Yeah, it works. Thank you. So the student name, student ID, age. Student name, student ID, age. So it is listing normally because I am not displaying them in the tabular format. If I want to display them in the tabular format, I will involve a request dispatcher here. We know request dispatcher, right? RD request dispatcher. I will redirect this response to one JSP. From there, I will add the table data, table header, all those stuff. Then I will display. I will show that later. Okay. So viewing is done. Connection gives you connection method done, gives you student details, it is done. What is the next step? Inserts data. So shall I write a method for inserting the data? Are you there? So I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I will simply copy and I will simply paste. Then instead of that, I will say insert student data. Okay. While inserting, does it return anything for me when I am inserting? It simply inserts, it won't return anything. So I'm removing the return type and I'm removing the return statement because it doesn't return anything for me. Okay. Okay, void. Fine. Okay, so do I need the list here? So I will get the connection. Well and good. Where is my insert servlet? This is my insert servlet. So here, this connection code, I am removing it for here because I am just delete. Because for here again, I want to get the, this is 100% clear. This we need in every method because for inserting or deleting, you need the connection object or not. We need the connection object, and this query we have to change because we are inserting it. We are not selecting. So we will add this query. We are adding insert query. And again insert, we have to set ps.setString or not. ps.setString. Okay. Okay. But you know, when you call this method, when you are inserting, let me show you from the welcome.jsp. You always think logically, you will get some clue. So I want to insert the data. I mean, inserting is nothing but registering. When I click on this, I am entering some values. So the values are coming from front end. So these values should be given to my method or not. Because when I am performing the insertion operation, I am not returning any data, but actually I am taking some data. So I am taking which type of data? I am taking student type of data. Student std. So whoever calls this method, from here I want to call the method and I'm going to remove this one, this one. So here we call the method or not. Let me remove this one from here and add it there. I'm removing everything from the servlet. I'm adding it here. Where is my insert? Okay, insert. So I have to add it here. Okay. Okay. But when I call this method, the method name is insert student data. Let me remove all the code. Okay. So the servlet gets invoked when the user try to insert some data. And whatever the user is entering, that data we are fetching with the request.get parameter, we are saving it here. Okay, but this data we have to populate to the bean class. Student is equal to new. So now which constructor we have to call? Parameterized or no org? We have to call the parameterized because we are passing some parameters. We want to set these values to the bean object. That's why we have two constructors. We have imported. Okay. Now my student object has all the values with me. So for inserting, we have to call the student DAO. We have insert student data. So we will call student DAO dot. It is showing multiple methods. I have to give insert student data and I have to pass yes. So is it clear? And I am not printing anything. I am not using for loop or while loop because insert simply inserts. It won't give you any data. You have to pass the data. It inserts the data for you. So this is what? This is, we are calling bean class constructor. So when you call the constructor, values will be given to the object. Okay. So with this object, we are passing it to insert student data method. So where is my insert student data method? It's here. So here I got the student object. So we have to get it std dot get student name because I have all my values in std object. I have to get it here. Okay, how many of you are following my class actually? They're understanding. Don't hesitate, that's fine. I understand it's not easy to follow, but I want to see. Anyhow, I will repeat it, don't worry. But how many are following now? Arjun, Bashwal, Prashant, both Prashant's following. Ishal following, Sunil following, Alan trying, Sanjeev gone, PK following, Rijvi gone, okay, Ashma following. Okay, after student. Okay, fine. Okay, I will, anyhow, you try to focus, I will explain this one more time. Okay. Okay, so this is inside the try. Let me close the try block and let me click the catch block. I haven't started, you know, the surprising thing is that I haven't started the update and delete yet. Okay, let's start for today and fresh. Okay, let's give it a try. Okay, fine. Now I am setting it, but am I executing the query? Let me at least execute this. Then we can think whether to stop or not. Now it is execute or execute update. It is execute update. Okay, so my query is updated. My results are inserted. I'm not returning anything because insert doesn't return anything. Let me open my. Let's insert one more row here. How many rows I have? Sagar, Anup, PK, PR, Rajwan, Sanjay. Okay, let's insert. Just tell me one name which is not here already. Okay, Arjan. Let's insert Arjan now. Welcome. Yesterday and today I'm doing the same thing. But yesterday I was doing in servlet. Today I separated the servlet code. I added the code to the DAO. Okay. Okay. Which button I have to click if I want to insert the code? Insert new student. Register. Correct. Let's add Archan. ID is 9111. Age is 25. Let's click add details. And when I click on add details, where is my student details JSP? It should go to insert. Oh, okay, I gave the wrong JSP. Let me correct it. So this should take me to. Okay, it is correct. It's not wrong. Insert, and here I'm calling student DAO dot insert student data. Let's give it a try. It should work. Okay, let me click on add details. I'm not displaying anything. That's why the screen is blank. See, I don't have anything here. Let's go to the database and let's run this. Where is my, okay, the details are not inserted. Okay, the details are not inserted. Something is wrong. See, something is wrong. Data manipulation statement with execute query. It should be execute update. Where is my DAO? It is execute update. Then I have to close the connection.
Does the connection has to be inside the try?
No, it's not like that. Insert into database student values, PS. Okay, result. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, I don't need PS. I don't need this result set here. Okay, 1 minute. I think I don't need this one. Because first I have to set, then I have to execute update, right? I'm executing 2 times. That's why it was giving error. Okay, ps.close, that's fine, but that's not what was giving problem. Let me run now. It will work because execute I had 2 times. Now I removed it. Okay, let me add again. Let me refresh. Let me register new student. Add details. It is blank, but I think I don't have any error. This was the earlier error. Let's see here. See, the values got inserted. Can you see the screen, everyone? Okay. So in the same way, we add the methods for updating and deleting. For updating again, we will simply update. We don't return anything. Deleting also, we will simply delete. We don't return anything. So I thought to explain it today, but most of the students are kind of lost. So what you decide and tell me what I have to do. Okay, most of the students are not paying that. I mean, the time is also up. We have a test on Monday, don't we? Yeah, you have test on Monday, but you do till whatever you understand what we can do, because I can teach Hari Barili, but again it is of no use. If 2-3 people are understanding, that's not enough. Everybody has to understand it. Okay, so we have test on Monday. At least you do this insert and view data. You show me at least something. So what will be covered in the test? If you understand, if you can see, it is up to you. I'm leaving the test up to you. You want to show me till what I taught you today? It's well and good. If not, at least show me something. You create a web page, you add some buttons. You should be able to add the database to. You should be able to add the data to the database and fetch the values from the database. If you can do little more extra, I'm happy. Just show whatever we understood so far. Yeah, but your effort has to be sincere. Okay. I think yesterday already a few people did the assignment, so it is more or less going to be the same. Whoever did yesterday's assignment, you try adding the DAO. Okay, you try adding the different packages, divide the code into layers, and then you do. And I will give the update and delete code also. If you can understand it, do it. That's well and good. I have the code for. Let me Let me add the code quickly. I will explain the code again later. I'm just adding the code here. So this is the delete student.
We cannot see your screen, Sarika.
My Eclipse you cannot see. Can you see now?
Yes. Now we can see.
Okay. Oh, what is this? Delete, update. Update I don't need. Okay, delete and update. So I'm just giving you code. Sorry, I think I have copied in the. Okay, so this is the one. Insert we already done. We have to delete and update, right? What is this? This is for the connection. This is for which code I am sharing. Am I sharing the correct one, wrong one? Okay, this is the one I have to share. Sorry. This is my DAO. So this is for viewing the details. This is for inserting. Let me add two more methods. Okay. Let me add delete and update. Okay. So here instead of here we have to give student and object can be anything. Same thing here. And update student, get connection, this we know. This delete query we know, right? Where a student ID. Okay, this is just a reference code. Can you please try that one? Here we have toy everywhere. Can you please replace that one with the student details? You just have to use your mind here. Okay. See, this is not compulsory. Whoever can do it, give a try. Whoever not, leave it. Just do till here, insertion and viewing. Okay. So that's it for today. I will explain update deletion on Monday after the test. And we will not leave it until and unless most of the people are comfortable with the database. We will continue it. And we have to learn about the session management also. Okay, the more you learn here and the more it will be helpful for your advanced class. I think mostly the advanced will start maybe from 15th, I guess. And to check with Nagendra. Okay, which code you want? You want all the JSP and servlets code? Let me take the attendance. It's been a while we are taking the attendance. Batch 3. Just a minute. Okay, I will give you a screenshot. But don't get confused with the day of updation and deletion, please. So today is 3rd July. Let me share the screen. Okay. Alain, Anit, Atul, Ashma. Alain, I'm not going to give the attendance. Anit, are you there? Where is Anit? Anit, I am giving absent. Ashma, I gave present. Subhash, Ishan, Bharsha, Sunil. Okay, Subhash is there. Bharsha, Sunil, they are there. Paras Ben Arjan Chala. What happened to Chala? Why he's not in the meetings nowadays? Dicky, Jeevan, Neeraj. Jeevan, you are there, right? Jeevan? Okay, Jeevan, I gave absent. PK, Sanjeev, Nishchal, Sagar Paudel. Okay, where is Sagar Paudel? Are you there? Sagar Paudel, Jeevan, and Chala, absent. Vinod, Anup, Yonathan, Prashant. Vinod, are you there? Yonathan, absent. Yonathan, absent. Prashant is present. Okay, Anup is there. Rajit, Alain, Prashant Paudel, Richway. Two Prashants are there, only one Prashant. Which Prashant is there? Prashant Paudel is there, right? Bashwar Mohan. Okay, PR. What about PP? PR is there, but what about PP? Is absent. Where is Sarita today? She didn't join. Sarita, you there? Okay, I'm going to drop a message in the group for the absent people. Okay, please prepare through the weekend. You have to be ready with your